at Heart in the Hamptons, and I'm here with the lady that organized this whole charity event. Introduce yourself to the camera, darling.
My name is Barbara Polywater, and I'm the Regional Director for the East End.
Tell my audience why it is so important to have an event like this, to fund the Heart Association, and what we should all be doing to have better health.
Well, the American Heart Association is a very important organization because of the vast amount of different things that we do. The money we raise funds research, but we also fund educational programs, and the educational programs is really what saves lives. If people are aware of how they could prevent heart disease, then their chances of better are not getting heart disease. And heart disease being the #1 killer, there's a lot of people out there that need to learn how to prevent heart disease.
Still is the #1 killer.
By 3 to 1 from other causes of death.
Wow. What's the biggest mistake people do about their taking care of themselves and getting, I mean, I would think you should get annual checkups for your heart.
Well, one of the most preventable ways of not getting heart disease is not to smoke. That's a very easy way to prevent getting heart disease. But one of the things, people also make the mistake of not knowing their family history. And if you have heart disease in your family, chances are that you will have it. And if you catch it early, or if you know the signs and symptoms, you can do something about it.
I see. I also know that now, if my audience wants to find out more information about the Heart Association, where can they go on the internet to find more information?
AmericanHeart.org. And right now we have an educational program, Life Simple 7, and you can go on and take an assessment. They'll give you a short quiz and actually assess your risks of heart disease. So make sure you go on AmericanHeart.org and take the assessment.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. Welcome back. We're here at Heart in the Hamptons Ball, and I'm here with Nicole Brewer from Hamptons.com. Now, I understand that you are one of the featured sponsors of this event. You do this every year.
Yes, the Heart of the Hamptons Ball is a wonderful event. Who doesn't think about their heart? And, you know, so many Americans with heart disease and stroke, it's definitely something everyone should think of. And it affects so many people across the country, across the world. Here in the Hamptons, we're able to help out at Hamptons.com and shed a little light on something that we should all be thinking about. So it's important.
Absolutely. Tell my audience, what do you do personally to fight heart disease?
Well, I try to stay active. So 30 minutes of chasing my daughters in the backyard every day.
That's so fun.
I do. They're little and fast. And then I stay heart healthy, Cheerios. And I try to stay away from, you know, butter and saturated fats.
And cheeseburgers.
Well, I limit my cheeseburger intake to Wednesdays at Barrister's, and I keep it a one-a-week kind of thing.
Tell my audience one more time the website.
www.hamptons.com.
Fabulous. Give me a kiss.
Thank you.
Welcome back, darlings. I'm here at the Heart in the Hamptons Ball, and we're here at the Hayground School, and I'm here with Dr. Max. Now, you're emceeing this event tonight.
Yep, I am, in fact. It's they asked me to come out, and I mean, I've been involved with the Heart Association for many, many years, but, you know, realizing how important heart disease is, and being the #1 killer, and stroke, which is also part of the American Heart Association, is the #3 killer. We have to do something about it, and when they asked me to come out, I said absolutely.
I
Anything
understand
I can do
that
to help.
smoking is a big contributor to
Absolutely.
heart disease.
Oh, absolutely.
Not
It's
just
a huge,
cancer.
not just cancer. It's
But
a huge contributor.
Why is that?
Well, for one thing, the nicotine in tobacco smoke is a vasoconstrictor, means it shuts down the arteries, makes the arteries spasm, and that's basically what starts to trigger either a heart attack or a stroke, both. Plus,
where can they go on the internet to find out more information about you?
About me?
And what you do?
Well, there's a couple of places. I mean, there is the Heart Association, #1 is heart.org, O-R-G, and that, you know what's on there actually is a really interesting thing, which is My Simple 7, we call it. You can take a heart assessment, and then it'll give you kind of a customized little program for 7 steps that you can do to take care of your own heart. On WCBSTV.com, and then I've got also my own website is
Tell my audience the website.
drmaxgomez.com.
drmaxgomez.com. How simple is that?
Pretty simple.
You
as long
are
as you remember.
a terrific guy. You
Well,
really
thank
are.
you. Thank you.
And I want to thank you very much for that interview.
It's my pleasure.
You are big supporters of tonight's event. How long have you been coming to this event?
Actually, this is only our second Hamptons Heart Ball, but we got involved just over a year ago, and I suppose it seems like a long time because we've been very public about our involvement, and we've been really getting out there and trying to use the platform that we have to do good things for organizations that need help, such as the American Heart Association. And that's one of the greatest things about reality TV, because it does cover your
A little
real
over a
life.
year ago, I had quite a major heart scare. In fact, the doctor that I saw thought I had a heart attack, put me in an ambulance, shoved me off to Beth Israel Hospital, and that night Alex was opening a store in Manhattan and I couldn't be there, but
It
in the end,
scared you.
yeah, look, I didn't have a heart attack, thankfully, that I had something, but it was enough to put the bejesus on behind me, and a little under a year ago I gave up smoking, so 2 years, in 2 weeks' time it'll be a whole year since I stopped smoking, and hopefully it will help me prevent having a heart attack.
Do you have a history of it in your family?
My father died 41 years ago of a heart attack. Alex's dad as well died from heart disease. And you know what's
So something
amazing?
close to-
Yeah, it's close to your heart, and that's why you want to make sure that your children live a long life.
Indeed.
And
And I
that
want to
we
live a
do
long
for
life
them.
to watch
And
them.
You guys look terrific, and you're doing a wonderful work here for the American Heart
Anything
Association.
we can do to lend our names, even if
Anything-
she doesn't want to admit that she's a celebrity, but in some
She
people's
do-
eyes you are.
Listen, you guys are the best. I
Thank
want you
you.
to tell my audience your website.
You can go to McCordVanKempen.com. That's
That's MCCORDVANKEMPEN.com.
And that has all of our book signings throughout the summer, where we're going to be and how you can order the book, the links to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Borders.
Cognac, thank you so much.
Thanks, Cognac.
What's for dinner?
Well, we have a lot of different choices for dinner. We have a fish dish, halibut. We have vegetarian options with whole grains and lots of legumes and vegetables, local seasonal produce. There's a meat that's a special meat from upstate New York that's lean beef. And there are all sorts of roasted vegetables and grilled vegetables that will be also on the buffet tables tonight. And duck that's local from Long Island, duck breast, which
Duck breast, that's delicious.
yeah, which is lean as well. But if you don't feel like if you're a vegetarian and you want to have your salad without the duck, you can do it without the duck. You can have a vegetarian salad, but most importantly, the preparations are all done tonight without fats, with minimal oils. Everything's done with fresh seasonings, and we're staying away from adding any fats to the meals, but nobody will know because everything's going to taste so delicious.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Tell my audience the website for them to go to find out more information about you as a nutritionist and your association with the American Heart Association.
Well, you can see my website is WebRD, www.webrd.com. Thank you. It was nice to
We'll
meet
be back,
you.
darling. So Maureen, you're invited to this event from the American Heart Association.
But I love Carl Krieger.
We know Carl very
I know Carl helped my father. Without
my
Krieger,
audience about it.
my first encounter with him, I met him socially. I'm at a Christmas party, and I said, "Listen, Carl, my father has a heart problem, and no one will operate on him because he's diabetic. And most surgeons, unless the success rate is good, they don't want to bring their rate down because they thought he'd die on the table."
I know I have diabetes in my family too.
So he said, "Ramona, you have him call my office Monday. You said you spoke to me. Speak to so-and-so, she's my assistant, and I'll see him." He saw my father 2 days later. The next week, my father was operated on, and he lived for another 5 years, and he did not die on the table. In fact, when he saw my father walk in, he said, "Oh my gosh, looking at your records, I expect to see a feeble man who could hardly walk. You walked in very virile. If you don't have this operation, you'll be dead in 1 year."
Amazon.com.
You know, everything I'm
And
doing.
tell my audience how they can contribute and participate for the American Heart Association.
I would just go online, and then you can just send in your donation online. Everything is online. It's so simple now.
You're the best.
I said cognac, ooh, ooh. I said cognac, ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a ballet blonde, fallacy dressed to impress. one of a kind girl.
This has been a Crybaby Productions, darlings.